Last time we left you both, Howl and Rib, you had just left Hansome, and you went through the blizzard to get to the Interceptor's lair again, and you both jumped into the hole. And now both of you are falling down slowly together. I'm not sure what you guys are both thinking, if it's just tense silence as you are going down to try and figure out what you are going to have to do. Howland and Rib's body still. Rib and Howland's body still. What are you guys doing?
I'm basically waiting to get to the bottom of this hole, coming to a stark realization that I very well could die. But a life without being in my body, in my opinion, is not a life worth living. So I'm gonna take that risk. I'm gonna take that fucking gamble. Also, I hate the Interceptor. He's a dick. He's stupid. And ugly.
Sounds about right. Just about to, go fight this guy.
The camera stays at the top of the hole as we see both of you go into the pitch blackness below. And then the camera cuts to a point of view just above the Interceptor as you guys slowly fall to the ground, landing on your feet. And you see the Interceptor, large lantern, standing in the middle of the room, just glowing on and off, on and off in this red hue. And he doesn't say anything right now, but you guys know that he knows that you are there.
I'm gonna walk forward and go, Interceptor!
Howland!
God.
End.
Alright. Interceptor, my son.
I'm noticing that you don't have the long-eared king with you.
He didn't come.
It's quite curious how hard it can be to get him when we're not in our own bodies.
What are you saying?
You fool. You have stifled your own plan.
I'm pretty sure you could have gotten him if you wanted. This seems...
You fucked with the only tools you had for the job. Give us our bodies back, and we can deliver the long-eared king to you.
I feel like that's not what's happening right now.
I mean, it could be.
This seems like an act of betrayal.
To be fair, if we were going to betray you, I mean, would we come back? Because I feel like we wouldn't come back, in all honesty.
He's got a point.
I'd probably send somebody. The fact that I'm here right now, and that I am not currently trying to fight you, is all the evidence I will bring to the table. That I'm not trying to fuck you over right now, even though I kind of hate you.
I feel like I should make you roll deception with advantage. Whew!
Fuck me.
That's tough.
Woof.
Wow, okay.
Nat 1, that's perfect.
I want to know how that happened in-game. Like, dude, I'm not trying to fuck you over. Turn around immediately, just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck him over. He has no idea. Like, that's...
I think the Interceptor, because he's basically torn you guys down from your body and rebuilt you from the ground up, and he knows you, Howland, for sure.
That doesn't seem like you, Howland, to be so honest.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say I had advantage on that roll?
Son of a bitch, you did. Yeah, I did give you that.
Wow, dude.
I was it was so perfect for you to have Nat 1. Okay,
yeah,
roll again.
I'm getting another try, goddammit.
19.
You know, I gotta tell you, I could be a lawyer right now. You want to hire me? I'm available. Defense attorney, Howland Rain, hi, at your service.
Well, if this is true then, what do you want from me? What do you want to do? What should I do? Give you your bodies back?
Yes.
I don't think you guys deserve it right now. I'd have no leverage at that point. I told you to go get the long-eared king, and you left to do something. I don't know what it was, what you actually accomplished, but you're standing here now.
Yes.
Something changed.
We assessed the situation, and getting the long-eared king is not that simple. He's got himself heavily fortified in a city that he's built with a plethora of guards around him almost at all times. Getting the long-eared king, if we were in our normal bodies and knew what we were doing, would be a near-suicide mission. Which is why we came back. So, essentially you have two options, because if we go back in there and attempt to get the long-eared king, we're as good as dead already. That's blatantly not going to work, and that's just not really a plan. This is what it is. You can either put us back in our bodies, we can go back there, and you can actually help us to do what you want us to do, or you can essentially send us on a mission for you again and sabotage us on that mission. You're essentially telling us to mow the grass and giving us a broken lawnmower. Do you understand that? Do you feel me right now?
Roll persuasion.
That's fact, though. That is fact, what I just said. I mean, I'll roll it, but fuck you.
I'm not saying it's not, but roll it.
Piece of shit. I've got a really good point right there.
You do have a good...
Not gonna know how to take this man down when I don't even know how this body works, goddammit. Come on now.
It glows for a second, and on a 13, it kind of just stops glowing for a second. It's obviously thinking.
It's a Pokeball looking motherfucker.
And it glows again.
That's a good point, Howland. But let me ask you this. Have you learned your lesson? What was the moral that you took away from this position you were in? That's all life is. A never-ending rigmarole of morals coming in, lessons you have learned. And the lesson you and your friend Rib here should have learned is not apparent. Why should I give you your bodies back?
I'm stumped.
The whole point of me doing this, as much as it was just to torture you at first, because you guys were just assholes when I first met you, to be honest. But there's a clear reason I did this, and I don't think you've learned that lesson, so even if I can't find the long-eared king through you, I'll just get the next guy to do it, especially if you don't know what's going on.
You're not gonna find anybody like us. That's a promise.
True.
You can roll those dice, but if you want to wait damn near 100 years to get the long-eared king, you can be my guest. But, something that I feel like I should mention, my dear little glowing light man, is that if you want the long-eared king, you don't exactly have a lot of time. See, when you sent us back, one of the things that we happened to find out is that he's going to turn himself in to the army of Xander. So, essentially, my boy, you really have no choice but to play my little game right now. If you wait any longer, even one more day, you will never get the long-eared king. Sending us in our bodies to get him right now in this small window of opportunity is literally the only shot you have. Now, if you think you can find somebody that can take down the entire castle and the army of Xander single-handedly and bring back the long-eared king to you, go ahead. You can roll those dice. You can take that chance.
Rib, roll perception. Continue talking, Howland.
But, as of right now, the way I see it, you're on a timer, and the only way that you're going to get the long-eared king is by helping us. And I would hope that the lesson that you learn from this is that if you want a job done correctly, you really shouldn't fuck with your tools that you're using for that job. If you have to get to work, shouldn't pop your tires. You sent us out to do a mission. In your opinion, you did teach us a lesson. You're sitting here, mad that we could not accomplish this goal when you sabotaged us. The fact of the matter is, you really don't have a choice here, my friend.
Rib, on that perception, you rolled an 11. I'm not going to say that you know exactly what's going on now, but while Howland was talking, you saw that the Interceptor was clearly getting a little bit more agitated because the light just kind of flickered on and off like there were sparks going on inside of it. It looks like he's about to do something, and if you don't want to do anything at that moment...
Warn Howland telepathically. So this dude looks like he's ready to blow.
I just telepathically, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that idea. We might have no choice but to fight him right here if he's being a little bitch.
Your tool that you needed for the job. You are tools who can learn from each other because both of you know how to use your own bodies as tools. All you needed to do...
And the light gets bigger, and it seems like the lantern is getting brighter and brighter inside of it, inside of the circular glass in the center of the whole structure. And it seems like the room around you, as well as yourselves, are shrinking.
You should have asked each other. Figure it out. You have a job to do. And if you don't do it, then you
are obsolete and must take to the dump.
And it's getting bigger, and the structure around it gets more spikier, as if it was personified as teeth, like in Monster House.
Okay, so he's becoming a big toothy monster, and he's really fucking stupid.
It looks like he's more angry and agitated than anything.
All I see are threats from a boss who has no idea how to utilize good employees. We could have figured it out. Maybe. But if it's so easy, you want to tell me how you lost to the Long-Eared King and ended up in this situation to begin with?
It shrinks back a little, like the room grows a little bit bigger, and the teeth kind of disappear into the structure. The light dims, takes a beat, silence. I was too cocky. Anyone knows that if they're too proud, they have a chance of oversight. I mean, look at you. I think your present situation is a reason that you're in this mess.
Yes, as is yours, but the only difference is that I don't have godlike powers.
As you said about utilizing employees or tools, I'll say this. If you can't get the job done, I have someone else that could. As he says that, the light glows a little bit as he says at the last part, like someone that could. You actually hear from beneath your feet, right beneath your feet, shifting rock.
Okay, I'm going to take a moment to step back a little bit.
I pull out the balloons.
You step back, Howland, and you pull out the balloon's rib, and you look down, and under you is the figure of Bendel.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
It's like he's glued into the floor. Picture like the Flying Dutchman from the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I literally just imagine him T-modeling and he's like no-clipping through the floor. Hold on, because I need to make this known right now. When you were talking about the Interceptor flickering and glowing, all I could imagine is that Howard the Alien song. Every time it glowed and went back down. Honest to God, I didn't think you were gonna do it, but I had it so perfect in my mind that he would get bigger and he would start glowing, and the glows were basically going to the beat of the song, and Howard the Alien would literally pop out of the Interceptor. I can just, like, I can see it. I can see it in my head, just like Rib and Howland walk in, and the Interceptor starts getting pissed, and he starts glowing and shaking. Every time it gets brighter and lower, it goes with the beat, and eventually Howard the fucking Alien pops out and just starts dancing in front of us.
I really hate this.
Dude, that's the final we needed. We gotta dance battle the Interceptor, dude. That's the only way.
I mean, that's one of the things. You could try to win this through a game. That's one of the ways that Alphonse beat him. He chose a game, but back into the game. Bendel, underneath your feet. Not in a T-model way, but it seems like he's just becoming freed by the Interceptor as he's pulled from the ground. If you were there, you probably assume that that's where Bendel was, where he was placed, as like a toy of the Interceptor, because as his resting place until he was needed. And as Bendel emerges from the ground, his body is turned towards you, so he's in between you and the Interceptor. And Bendel looks completely different. His quilty, patchy cloak is open a little bit, and you can see the inside of his body, and it's skeletal in nature. His bison head, where it had a little bit of skin showing, more skin and just a little bit of skull showing when you first met him, it is now all skull. And there is smoke coming from his eye sockets. His mouth opens, and more smoke spurts out of it, and it just kind of hisses towards you.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna look at that, and I'm silent.
Bendel here made a deal to save you two, to keep me from killing you, which is what I was gonna do, no questions about it. But he decided to sacrifice himself, become my ward, for life, forever. There's no way this boy's gonna die. And I don't necessarily need you. So if you don't do what you're told, Bendel here's gonna kill you. And then we're just gonna go with it.
I think I see what needs to happen here. telepathically, this little fucking bitch. In all honesty, if I have to die to kill this fucking guy, I might do that. Like, I don't know about you, but by God, I cannot remember hating somebody as much as I hate this fucking light. But if we can take Bendel from him, he really, really will have nothing, and he'll have no choice.
I guess we gotta do what we gotta do.
You know, it's very unfortunate that even with all of your vast powers, you're still nothing more than a petulant child. Bring it on, bitch.
Roll for initiative.
Goddamn right I will. Literally fuck the Interceptor in his face.
Alright. Rib, you're up first. What you doing?
Okay. Alright. Let's get this. Get him with acid splash. Bam.
How do you do it?
Pull up the acid, and then I splash it in his face.
Splash it right on him.
He rolled a 15. So this is what happens.
Dude, come on, dude.
What? He says dexterity save of 13 or higher.
Whatever,
I
dude,
beat it.
Whatever.
So as soon as you reach out, you try to throw this splash on Bendel, but he just ducks super fast out of the way and turns towards the right, like he's about to head off in that direction, but it's not his turn yet, so I won't allow him to move yet. Howland, it's your turn.
What are you gonna do?
I am going to pull out my crossbow.
His crossbow, and he's got 2 attacks. We're not gonna forget that this time.
That's true. That's very canon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to aim for Bendel's spine and sever him in half. I feel like that'll make this a lot easier. At least considering that he's all skeletal now.
True.
If I can focus in on the one vertebrae and get him in half, I mean, even if his, fucking legs get up and start walking around, that's not too much of a threat. So that'll just make this loads easier. So I'm essentially going to pull out my crossbow, and I'm going to aim in the middle of Bendel's spine and try to hone in on that, and try to sever him with my bolts.
If you hit his AC, I'll let you roll damage. Hey, at least you got a good score there. Alright, 11. Holy shit. You aimed right into his chest?
With a human skeleton, do you know where the torso, like the rib cage, connects down to the pelvis, and there's that open area of spine in between the rib cage and the pelvis? That's literally just spine. That's where I'm aiming. I'm trying to sever Bendel, cut him in half with my bolts.
In that motion of him trying to dodge the acid splash, he dodges the acid splash and then tries to move to the right, but you just get him right in that spot. You do not break it. You do not break him apart, but it digs right into his spine, and it stops him in his tracks, and
Good.
It looks at you.
Don't I get another attack?
Yeah.
You do. That's right. You rolled a 25 earlier. That's cool, but a 9 does not work. As soon as you hit him with that, and he saw you, Howland, holding the crossbow, and you shoot the other one, he dodges out of the way. And now it's his turn. With a quick motion, he heads in your direction, Howland. Just rolled a 19.
Wow.
Ooh. I was gonna say, do I
No,
get a
I'm
chance
rolling.
to do anything here, or is he just coming for me?
In the same motion as he's coming right towards you, Howland, his gauntlets fell out of his pockets, and he dug his hands right into them, and he pulls them out and hits you with an uppercut into the face. And that is 2 damage.
Nice.
Okay.
Write that down,
Yep.
Rib. He does a second attack. What's your AC?
11.
Okay, well, that's a hit then. 11?
That's on
How?
Holland's body.
Shit, okay, well, that's a hit. And he's going to do the same thing, but with his other hand, doing 3 damage in between you. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, both of you?
Yes.
Oh, baby girl. Come on now. Come on.
Fuck. Oh, wait, dexterity.
There you go. Go from 8 to 6, nice.
I was like, yeah! Oh.
In that same motion, he tries to leg sweep both of you. Rib, you jump over it. You are fine. And he just leg sweeps you, Howland, and you land to the ground.
Fuck.
It's your turn, Rib.
I'm gonna mage hand him and hold him as like an easy target after slamming him into the ground once.
You're holding him up in the air with Mage Hand, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I want to slam him once, but like hold him. I just rolled mage hand.
Yeah, what's damage?
1d6 plus 3. 9.
9 damage. Nice. You grabbed him with Mage Hand. It feels awkward to have this second hand or third hand that you have with your aura as you pick him up and you drop him onto the ground and pick him up again. To anyone else, this person would be knocked out at this point. You know that, Rib, as someone who can knock people out. You can understand what it would take to hit somebody, but Bendel is still just up. Now it's Howland's turn.
If Dylan is holding him in the air, I think I should get attack with advantage because he's literally holding him for me to shoot him.
I think I could give that to you if you weren't already prone on the ground right now because he knocked you down.
Fuck, okay.
He's gonna get out.
I need...
He ain't gonna shoot from the ground.
I was gonna say, do I need to spend one of my actions getting up, or can I just get up and shoot at him?
It's movement to get up.
You can still shoot him.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be able to shoot him once, but what I'm saying is, like, am I gonna have
You don't get your 2 attacks on this, no.
Okay. Oh, come on. 11 piercing again.
What was... hold on, I gotta look at his AC real quick.
Yeah, you do.
Nope.
What? What do you mean, no?
His AC is more than 14.
So... Oh! So you're saying I have to roll more than his AC just to hit him?
Yeah, that's how the game works.
What? What? Ha!
That's literally how the game works.
Semantics!
Rib is holding him up with his awkward shamrock mage hand, and you get up and try to shoot him, and he sees you out of the corner of his eye, and he just holds up his metal gauntlet with the claws on it, and it just ricochets off of that, and now it's his turn. I'm going to give him disadvantage on this, because you're holding him with mage hand, but he is going to attempt to get away.
It should be his movement to get out of mage hand. Mine's 11.
Alright. He takes his feet, and he pushes against your chest, Rib. Pushes off. I think since you're so awkward with it that you can't control him so much, and he does a backflip landing on his feet about 5 feet away from you. That was one of his actions, and he opens his mouth and smoke starts to emanate from it more, and then you see just not a blinding light, but a large and bright gray light coming from his mouth. Both of you roll dexterity saving throws.
Oh, that's what we're doing right now?
Yeah, both of you. Rib, what do you do to get out of the way?
A balloon.
So here's what happens.
Run it for me, Chief.
You see this light coming from his mouth. What are you doing, Howland?
Is he looking at him or me?
Well, he was looking at both of you, but if you look closely, it looks like he's more entering in the center of you two.
I want to try to roll behind him.
So here's what's happening. You see the light emanate from his mouth, Rib, and you immediately got the beast balloons going. And you see this too, Howland, and you're about to try and roll behind him, but the light already shoots from his mouth, like it's oozing almost. Like it's not like an instant thing. It seems like it's just falling out of his mouth towards you guys. Kind of like lava a bit, but more, it's a weird substance that's happening. And it covers you, Howland. Let me see. This is fair. Oof. Okay. And it covers you, Howland. Rib, you are in the air looking down at this as the light seems to cover over Howland's body, giving him 9 damage.
So are you talking about him or me?
You, Howland. Howland, you didn't beat
Again, who, like him or me, I don't know.
I think when he says Howland, he means you in my body. And when he says Rib, he means me in your body.
Yeah, I'm trying to just keep that.
God, I take 9 damage, you said?
Yep. Rib, it's your turn. You're in the air. Beast balloons.
I'm about to hit him with Maw of the Void.
What do you do? Like, what are you trying to make him see? Or
Dylan, just to clarify, in case you don't know what it is, Maw of the Void basically lets you make them hallucinate.
Yeah.
And see whatever you want them to see.
I want to make him have flashbacks to fighting the Long-Eared King in the light and all the shit that happened leading up to this.
What are the movements and the way that you cast this spell, Dylan?
No idea.
Alright.
I'm in the air, and I feel like I have a direct line to him, regardless, so...
You put your arms together, and the shamrock aura shoot from your hands towards Bendel, as he has just shined the light that fell all over Howland, and you try to signal this memory into Bendel. You put this vision in Bendel's mind of when he was attacked by the Long-Eared King in the blizzard, and when he was attacked by everything that the Interceptor has done to him, and it stops him, and he goes prone, and you see him, like, reaching his hands up to grab at his skull. And picture it like the mask when Jim Carrey first puts it on, as he's scratching against his skull, and the light is shining through the cracks that he's creating on his own body. Howland, it's your turn.
This is tough, because... Okay, where am I in relation to Bendel?
4 feet away. Not on the ground, but you still have this light covering you.
Well, what I mean is, am I behind him, to the side, in front?
To the side.
Alright. I want to get behind him, and I want to basically, not hug him, you know, but like you come up from behind somebody and you lock them in, put your arms around them, and you lock their arms at their sides, and you're like holding them from behind.
You're trying to bear hug this man?
Yeah, I want to try to bear hug him, and I want Dylan to keep hitting him with Maw the Void, because that seems to be working quite a bit.
Remember, he only has 1 spell slot left on that. He already used his Maw of the Void.
So can he not do it again?
He can only use 1. No, he can't, actually. That was a 3rd level spell. He can't use that again.
Fuck.
Okay.
Fucking shit. Okay, then I don't want to do that. I want to run at him, and well, not even that. I want to scream at him like, Bendel! Don't be a puppet to this light! Don't be a slave! Free yourself, Bendel! Find the power! And also, fuck you. Fuck you, light. Shout out to the light, you suck.
I'm going to make him have a wisdom saving throw, but I'm going to let you know this is going to be a very high thing he has to make in order to shine through it all.
But of course.
So what happens is that when you say that, the smoke kind of allows there to be more light come from his eyes, and his mouth stops moving for a second, and his body seems to go limp. No. And then his body goes rigid, and he comes back to life a little bit more. You still haven't used your actions or anything like that, but he hasn't broken through, and you can tell that.
So Bendel, at this point, is basically just a complete skeleton with that hide on him?
Not a complete skeleton, but, I mean, yes, in a way, a complete skeleton, but he's got the quilt, the torn-up quilt-like cloak he has, and his gauntlets.
I'm gonna take out my crossbow again and aim for the same spot that I aimed for the first time. I'm gonna try to break his spine.
Yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
10. And roll it again. Fuck.
That doesn't hit.
Yep.
Bendel's turn now. Bendel breaks free from your grasp and turns around, and you see his claws come from the gauntlets. What's your AC, Rib?
Right now, my AC is 29 of 39.
Nope, that's your temporary hit points.
14.
AC, I think, I'm dead today. Leave me alone.
14.
He punches you into the gut.
Ooh, into the gut.
The claws don't stick all the way in, but they do get you, almost like he stabbed.
Ooh, done gotcha.
4 damage.
Ooh.
What's his HP looking like at this point? Like, you don't have
Him?
to tell us what, you don't have to tell us what it is exactly, but like, are we getting there? Are we close? Or have we not really?
He looks damaged, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but there's a difference between, like, okay, you damaged him and you're really getting somewhere.
I hit him with Acid Splash.
He has to roll again. Alright, that's 6 damage you just do to him. You hit him in the back as he's about to do his second attack, and you just hit him in the back of the body, doing Acid Splash, and it burns through his cloak a little bit and onto his skeletal body. From this, you can kind of tell that his nerves aren't working the way they would be. He's not feeling it, but it is doing damage. You just see him turn his bison's skull head towards you, and you can just see the side eye, and it looks like he's giving you the biggest stink eye you've ever seen from somebody. You guys also have, like, lots of different things that you could use here. It doesn't have to be just light crossbow, Acid Splash.
I have a Bowie knife and a light crossbow in my shish. That's what I'm seeing on the extra attack. I don't know what the Belt of Power and Strength does, and I'm not going to take the time to fuck with it.
Read it.
Don't.
Belt of Power. Once per day, the owner of the Belt of Power can protect an ally near them from an attacker by granting them disadvantage. Belt of Strength. Once per day, the owner of the Belt of Strength can add ally's strength modifier to theirs if they are nearby. This ability lasts an hour.
Strength modifier isn't too useful with Howland. I'll probably use the Belt of Power at some point.
Also with you, Dylan, you have access to the spells. You have 3 spell slots from the 2nd level, and you have 1... Wait, how do you have 1 spell slot remaining for 1?
So I'm insane.
David, it's all about the ELO with these spells.
I'm just going to bump that up to... You can use 4... you can use 3 out of the 4 spell slots for 1. 3 out of the 4 first level spell slots.
I'm going to shoot it with my fucking crossbow right in the same area again.
Alright, did you roll?
Yep, 18, 8 pierce damage. And then I'm going to jump to the side and whip my Bowie knife at the skull. Gonna try to get it right between the eyes.
You shoot it in the same spot, and you try to come down, and you crack it right into the skull with the Bowie knife. Roll damage. 7 damage. That looked like it hurt a lot, and it looks like his skeleton is kind of breaking. After you do that, the light kind of shines brighter from the Interceptor into the room, blinding both of you, and you can't see Bendel or any of the room for a bit, and then the light disappears, and all around you is no longer a cave. There's Bendel, and there's the Interceptor, but it looks like he just changed the setting a little bit, because around you is Soulwood.
Oy vey.
And Bendel drops the cloak, and he's in full skeletal gear. As his claws, one right after the other, he pounces the ground, and he moves his hind legs back, and then together he jumps into the sky. Both of you roll 2 dexterity saving throws.
Ah.
Okay, go on.
Okay, you see him go into the sky, and it's kind of like in Grown Ups when they shoot the arrow into the sky and they can't see it, and you don't know where he is. And I think at the last second, when you see him finally coming down, you try to move out of the way, but neither of you can, as he comes crashing into the ground, sending a ripple through the green grass all the way through the cabins of Soulwood, destroying some of them and hurting you guys very badly. Let me see. Both of you take 11 damage.
It's my turn.
Yes, it is.
I don't have a whole lot of health left, so this is getting pretty down to the wire here.
Trying to use command here.
All right, what do you say?
I say, break the light.
It has to be one word.
Leave.
Must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. The spell has no effect if the target is undead, if it doesn't understand your language, or if your command is directly harmful to it. Leave isn't harmful, some typical, blah, blah, blah. I need to make a dexterity saving throw. It has to beat 13.
A wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, it has to be a wisdom saving throw. And to be fair here, because I know you guys don't usually believe me, but I want this to be as authentic as it can, I'm going to do this plus his modifier.
You're throwing? Didn't do it.
He rolled a 12 plus his modifier is 13.
No, he didn't get it. Nope, no way. No how.
No, his modifier for dexterity is 14. What do you mean?
I'm kind of glad, because in all honesty, I would rather either kill him or have him remember Bendel just kind of, like, leaving. I hate that.
You reach out and you say, leave. He stops for a second, and it kind of looks like he's wrestling with it. You see the light coming from the cracks, and he just looks back at you. And in the Interceptor's voice, you see it glow in the background, but you hear his mouth move up and down as he says, "No, I'm not leaving. I love it here." And then it's your turn, Howland.
God, I fucking hate the Interceptor so much. I'm gonna take aim once again. Gonna try to break his spine. And while I am shooting at him with my crossbow, I'm screaming, "Know yourself, Bendel! Know what you have become! Remember the beast master that you were." Oh my god.
Roll damage.
5 on both of them, so 10.
This is what happens. I love it. You are screaming that, and you shoot one into his spine area, and you scream that again. You say, "Remember the Beastmaster you were," and then you shoot the other one, and the camera stays on the arrow as it goes all the way towards him and just right through his spine as he falls in pieces.
I step back and I'm just like I don't say it, but if you looked at my face, you would know it's just like, damn. It's unfortunate.
but then you see his hands move. He gets up and he pushes onto the ground, and as he pushes on the ground, from the ground, another bottom half of his body emerges, and it's now formed, but it's a weird, corrupted form that the Interceptor has made for him. It's trying to be Bendel's real body, but it's not working. It doesn't look right. And then the same thing happens with the other side of it. The other one forms the top half, and again, doesn't work, doesn't look right.
Considering that this is a weird, corrupted, malformed, is Bendel just as powerful as he was when we were just fighting him, or does he have some kind of disadvantage now?
He definitely has... I wouldn't do that to you. He definitely has a disadvantage.
I was gonna say, because I'm gonna tell you, out of game right now, like, that last attack that he did with 11 damage, that kind of fucked me a little bit. I don't think I can take another attack like that, so I'm just trying to really feel this out, because this is getting zesty.
Now, if you two are good boys, I could not make you face two of the same Bendels, and I could put them back together and make them one. If you say please. If not, you guys are going to have to face this guy twice.
Even with all of your light, you're still so dim. All I hear when you talk is a child who got lucky and got powers. You're undeserving of the title of Interceptor. You're undeserving of my respect, undeserving of my attention, and you are nothing more than a child.
The Interceptor, it seems like he growls a little bit, and then his voice gets less fun, shrinks, and it says,
Go get him, Bendels.
And they both start walking towards you. It's both of their turns now.
Bring it the fuck on.
Both of them at the same time. That's going to be a hit on you, Rib, as they're both they're wearing one gauntlet on one hand, kind of like Doomfist does, and one hits you in the face, Rib, that's 4 damage, with a claw, and he does this weird punch in the face, and then tries to grab you by the neck. Can you roll a dexterity saving throw, Rib? I'm going to call Bendel 1, Bendel 2. No. I'll call one Bendel top, the other one Bendel bottom because of what is going on. And he's got you by the neck now, Rib. And same to you. Let me see. Howland. Yep. Hits that, dealing 2 damage. And can you roll a dexterity saving throw as well? Oh, shit. You have... Okay, on a nat 20, that's a nat 20 plus 2. You get... He hits you in the face with the gauntlet, and it goes for your neck. You have a free attack right now. What do you do?
Dylan, what are your temporary hit points right now? What are you looking at?
8.
I'm going to use the Belt of Power right now, and I'm going to basically shield him from that attack that's coming to him right now.
So they're going to have disadvantage.
Yes.
What about the one that's attacking you right now?
Well, was that the one thing I could do?
You have 2 attacks regardless.
No, well, this is you got a point. You've got an attack of opportunity. You get 1 attack here. It's not your turn, but I will allow that Belt of Power thing. Absolutely, I will.
Alright, so I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna step back when he tries to go at my throat. I'm gonna use the Belt of Power shit, get fucking Rib, and protect him for a second. And when this thing tries to come at me, I'm gonna roundhouse kick it away as hard as I can.
Roll with advantage.
Wait.
With advantage.
15.
That one hits. You kick it, and you can actually see some of the bones shatter off of it. And just real quick, you take a point of inspiration, Howland, for what you said to him. You said all this light, but you're still so dim. I absolutely love that. Take a point of inspiration. Just write it in your notes. Bendel top is going to take disadvantage on this one for you, Rib.
Bendel bottom jeans.
He just rolled a nat 1, Dylan. You got an attack of opportunity.
Do something spicy. Dylan, listen to me right now. Show this man. Show him how to play Hammond. Show him the strat right now.
Hit him with acid splash. Bam.
You got him. Hammond strat. Woo!
Where do you splash him, and how do you splash him?
In the face. He's right in front of me, right?
You do that, and matter of fact, it kind of melts down his top skull, and you can see part of his skull just like dissipating as you just did that. And now it's the other one's turn. The one that you just kicked, Howland. He is going to roll against you. That is not going to hit.
Alright, do I get to attack now?
Nope.
Ah,
Rib's turn again. Rib, what are you doing?
I'm going to sweep him with Mage Hand.
All right, you sweep him.
Yeah.
So he falls on the ground.
Yeah, but they're both in front of us, right?
Yeah.
I just want to run my hand across the floor and sweep them both out.
2 dexterity saving throws for both of them. All right, they both fall to the ground. One of them you dealt a lot of damage to with that mage hand. Howland, it's your turn, sorry.
We're in Solwood, right? Currently?
Yep.
There are a lot of trees in Solwood, right?
Yep.
I'm assuming when Bendel came down and basically created that crater, I want to try to pin one of them under a fucking tree and just take it out with a tree falling on it. Can I basically, the one that's trying to attack me, can I basically run to the side behind a tree and attempt to push a broken tree on top of it?
Roll a strength with advantage. All right, on a 19, you grab one of the trees and you pick it up and you just crack under your arms, your adrenaline running through your veins. You pick it up and you just try throwing it down on the both of them. Roll a d6. One of them. It's curtains for bottom, Bendel.
Bendel got fucking bottomed, boy. Got fucking domed by a bugbear. Write that down in your books.
The one with the legs that were given to him by the Interceptor kind of shrivel up like the Wizard of Oz, the witch from it.
It's like a fucking rolled up thing of toothpaste, like rolling itself back up. That's how I imagine it.
Exactly like that. As the other one is still up, and the tree is still on top of it, but the Interceptor sees that, and then all of a sudden, light comes up again, creating this white background. You can't see anything, and then it comes back down, and you see the desert with Xander in the distance. Now, it is Bendel's turn, and he's not doing all right, but I don't think you boys are either.
Yeah, nah. Everybody's kind of fucked right now.
And he looks towards you, Howland. His smoky eyes stare at you, and his mouth opens again. And just like in the Interceptor's voice, you hear him say,
Well, I guess I could use one of my Beastmaster abilities.
I'm gonna need you to make a wisdom saving throw. That is probably the most important one you'll ever roll.
Yeah. It's pretty important.
Your whole mind, as you rolled this 6, your whole mind just comes under the influence of not the Interceptor, but Bendel as a Beastmaster. He points his hand at you, Howland, and you can see a smile creepily spread like he's in Coraline, creepily, like pulled together almost, as he says, Die. As you know, this spell doesn't allow you to kill yourself. It's a one-word thing. Rib just used it. It doesn't allow you to kill yourself, but the Interceptor does not know that. And I think you know that because you're a sorcerer. I think you are very, you're happy about that, but it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take 2d6 damage. Oof, alright.
Jesus.
5 damage.
Nice.
Dylan, this is what happens. Fucking one trick in Hyela.
True.
We're literally throwing.
True. David threw a bunch of my games earlier this tournament.
Dill, we can't focus on that right now. That doesn't exist right now.
Set the scene. Where is everyone?
Interceptor is 10 feet away from Bendel.
Yeah, how far is Bendel from?
From you or Howland? 5 feet.
Is there any way I could separate the two of them?
Yes, you could. You could use Mage Hand, Poison Spray, Prestidigitation, Arms of the Night, Armor of Malik.
Eddie, how low are you?
I'm on 9 health right now. Please don't use Arms of the Night. I'm just gonna tell you, don't do that. Literally, grab his ass with fucking Mage Hand and just throw him as hard as you can.
I'll use Charm Person on him.
For the love of God.
Here, let me just roll a Wisdom saving throw, okay? It has to be to 13, is that correct?
Spell save DC at 13.
That's a 9.
Oh, I got his ass.
What are you going to tell him to do?
I tell him to tell Rib to kill him.
Wait, to tell him to tell Rib to kill him?
And you're sure that's what you want to do?
Because he's inside Howland's head, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean...
And he'll be charmed until it ends, or until you do something harmful to him. So we could leave him, or we could just... I don't know how long it lasts. It just says until the spell ends.
It lasts an hour. Charm person lasts an hour.
Oh, okay.
But until you attack him, if you tell him to do something to hurt himself, it will not work.
I was gonna say, he told me to basically kill myself so that...
Alright. I wanna tell him to dance in the corner like a chicken.
Why don't you tell him to try and heal one of us or something?
Dude, because he can't do that. He's a Beastmaster.
With his magic power.
He doesn't know how to do that. He's over there in the corner chicken dancing. We don't need him.
I'm so over this.
He is chicken dancing.
Alright.
And the Interceptor just... The light glows and he's like...
You know, I have all day, right? This can last as long as you guys want.
You're ugly as shit.
But this is going to end one way. And by the looks of you, both of you, your health bar isn't working.
I'm gonna ban you, actually. I'm going to report you. That's cheating. That's hacking. Your account is gonna be suspended. Get fucked. I just imagine the Interceptor's like, no, wait, just a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Whoa. I'm not using cheat books. I swear.
I swear I wasn't boosted.
I'm not boosted. I swear. I'm at this elo. This is naturally me. So what if I have 50 hours on Mercy and I play Doomfist? That doesn't mean anything. You don't know.
What are you guys doing? You're both very low, and Bendel is chicken dancing in the corner.
Okay, I have no way to heal myself, and all I can basically do is either run at him right now and try to beat the shit out of him, which would just put me in more harm's way than I already am in, because I'm right there up in his face. Or I could attempt to shoot at him with my crossbow and get a money shot on him while he's chicken dancing and can't really, move from that, which is probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the alternative on that. So, I think I'm gonna go behind him and I'm gonna try to get him right between the eyes of his skull while he's chicken dancing and can't move.
And tell him to stand still.
He stands still. I think as you are holding up crossbow, Howland, you just hear the Interceptor just sigh, and he says,
After all of this, you guys still don't get it. It's crazy. You guys are morons or ignorant. Something about you guys just don't get it. You guys are completely screwed. Even if you do beat me, you guys both are just gonna die out there because you know nothing. You're too set in your ways. You're too selfish. Trying to survive when you could be thriving. Idiots. Absolute idiots.
It makes me so mad because when you talk as him, I only hear Chris Raygun, and it's pissing me off really bad. I know you based him off of whatever the dude's name is, the little comedian boy.
no, it's actually Yes Man from Fallout New Vegas.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, he sounds like the dude.
John Mulaney, I know.
Yeah, he literally, this is John Mulaney right now. But I don't know why. Maybe it's because I know Chris Raygun better. I just connect this to Chris Raygun. So I'm just hearing Chris Raygun, one of my favorite YouTubers, insult me. And I'm mad. And I'm like, alright. Alright, dude. Do you want me to unsub now? Because I'll do it. I don't care. I care a little. But I'm ignoring what he's saying. And I'm getting my crossbow ready. I'm gonna just fucking shoot Bendel.
As you're holding the crossbow, light goes up. It's all white. Can't see anything. Light comes back down. You're back in the Interceptor's lair. And he says,
You know, I say morons. And I do mean that. Because if you think I didn't have a contingency, then you're even bigger idiots than I thought.
and as he says that, above you, the ceiling, rock shifts, and down falls another figure. And it's so funny, because the figure is so familiar to both of you. It was the absolutely crazy girl from the tavern.
Yeah.
And her eyes are so wacky. Picture Judge Doom from Roger Rabbit, just shining back and forth.
It's a real good thing we didn't kill her. Honestly.
Really?
I'm just,
It's not the time.
I mean, we needed her, for all the stuff, for all the information.
Yeah, we needed her.
Here, why don't you try to ask her where to find the long-eared king? Why don't you see if she'll tell us?
And he says,
And she's not as powerful as Bendel, so maybe you guys could take her. I don't know. But I gave her a few modifications.
And as he says that, her arm just becomes this giant blade. Over her face just appears this very black fabric wrapped around her mouth and her shoulders in the shape of a scarf.
But of course.
And her eyes go even crazier, and she points the sword at both of you.
Do you remember me? When you tossed me down a hole, I sounded just like this! I also just imagine when the Interceptor gives her the blade arm, he just slowly turns around and takes out a copy of Prototype for the 360, and he's like, yeah, that's the stuff. And he cries a little bit, he's like, yeah.
Bendel's still chicken dancing, I guess.
Tell him to fight her right now, for the love of God.
Bendel, fight her.
Bendel, he stops chicken dancing, and he turns toward the crazy... I'll just call it crazy girl. He goes attacking her, and she kind of sweeps around with her blade arm, pointing it at him, and he's just going towards her, about to fight her. What are you two doing?
I'm essentially sitting there, watching how this plays out for a second, just kind of trying to collect myself. I'm assuming right now she's got more health than Bendel, so while Bendel is running at her to attack her, I'd like to try and shoot her with my crossbow.
All right, let me roll initiative for her.
Don't do it.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Bendel is heading towards her with the gauntlets, and she's got this blade arm, and she's running towards him as he starts heading towards her. He leaps and jumps on her, kind of like the jockey from Left 4 Dead, and she's reaching back trying to attack her, and he scratches at her face. But when he starts doing that, can you roll perception, both of you? Rib, roll perception.
6.
On a nat 1, too. Howland, I think this makes more sense because you notice this a lot more. But the fabric around her face glows in this bright blue aura, and she puts her hands up, and Bendel follows off of her head as she takes it and throws him against the wall.
Wow.
And he just hits the back of it and falls down. And then she slowly turns to you.
This is why you're in bronze, Bendel! This is why you're in bronze! Fucking plaid chat, bud!
Rib's turn, what are you doing?
How far away is she from, everyone?
15 feet.
I'm gonna have to hit her with something dirty this time. Bow.
Tendrils that are all creatures within 10 feet of you. They must take a strength save. On a fail, a target takes 2d6 necrotic damage and can't take reactions until its next turn. On a success, it takes half damage and it suffers no other effects. All right.
I want to go to her quickly and then pop it right in her face. Just bow.
I'll allow that. You run over there.
So I'm 10 feet away from...
And you put down the stuff, the arms of the knight, as these tendrils appear in front of them. I'll roll a save right now. That's an 8. That is not going to save. Can you roll 2d6 for me?
Yeah, David, it was 3.
Yep, 3 damage.
Necrotic, so it builds over time.
Yeah, so she's going to have to do it again next turn, so you can potentially do...
6.
Over time, this potentially do 12 damage.
Oh, dude. Fucking 12 damage popping off.
Now it is your turn. Howland, what are you doing?
So he just attacked her, and is Bendel basically done at this point?
He doesn't look done, but he looks like that really hurt, especially after that mindfuck he just got with the chicken dance.
So he's essentially on his last leg, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to shoot her right in the fucking face, because that's all I can do.
Nat 20! Roll damage. 9 plus 7. That's 16 damage. Holy shit.
But of course.
So here's what happened. You pick up the crossbow, you shoot it right at her face, and it just, from her point of view, the arrow goes right into her face. And at first, I think you're like, damn, good, she's dead. Headshot, bitch. Hell yeah, high fives all around. And then you remember this is the Interceptor's lair, where he allows people to die or live at his will. And you just remember that, and you just see that it's sticking out of her face, and she's eyes are narrowed at the stick, at the arrow in front of her face, and then they turn back to you, Howland. You have another attack.
Oh, God. All right. Back up a little bit, and I'm going to fire again, but that didn't hit shit, did it?
Nope.
It's a fucking 8.
It hits the blade as she cuts it in two, and it goes into 2 different spots on the wall. And it's her turn. As she runs, can you make a dexterity saving throw?
He won't.
Bop.
Yep, on a 5, no. First, she's 10 feet away, and then you blink, and she's a foot in your face, and she's coming down with the sword into you. It comes and it slices down your shoulder to your chest. Take 2 damage. Both of you make a perception check.
Perception check. Ow. Nice.
Both.
I'm fucking blind.
On a 7 and a nat 1. Oh, you guys just both failed your perception check. Yeah, you don't see anything that's happening, but she just sliced down your chest. Now it is your turn, Rib. What are you doing?
Interesting. Gonna hit her with poison spray.
Howland, make a Constitution saving throw.
Where?
She fails it.
Nice. I got her ass. Eddie's good, dude. Don't worry about it.
Come on, that's a solid 6.
David, that's like a thick 6.
That's like a diamond account 6. Come on.
That's like a diamond account 6.
David, that 6 is literally... That 6 plays with Taimu. I'm telling you. I'm not lying. But he did the exact same thing that he did when he walked in. It was like he did it flat out in reverse. All of it. It was fucking great.
She gets advantage because of her scarf.
Nice.
And she takes half damage out of 16. Are you guys both wearing your masks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never took mine off.
You get advantage as well.
Excuse me?
What about these masks?
Roll again. Roll a Constitution saving throw again. You both created masks. Worse! You got a 3!
That's it?
How much damage does he take, Dylan?
2.
Oh my god.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
That's real tough. It better be fucking 2.
No, I read it. It was 2.
We're gonna be in some deep shit if that's not 2 damage.
Okay. Okay. You take 2 damage.
How many hit points do you have?
I've got 5.
Nice.
I'm on 5 health, dude. I'm literally about to fucking die.
How about you?
8. That dude's hurt. Or whatever.
She took half damage, but she's coughing up a storm.
Why'd she take half damage?
Because of her scarf.
What a fucking Jose.
You guys are both in so much pain. I think both of you can hear in the background just the Interceptor's weird, just annoying laugh as she's watching this.
You know, this is what I wanted when I saw the combat with you guys. This is what I wanted to see. This is what you guys deserve. It really is, and Bendel took it from me. And you guys just walked back into the spider's web. It's delicious.
I'm going to look at him, and I'm gonna whip out my cock and wave it at him.
Oh, it's so good! You guys are just so shameless. I love it. It's absolutely just delicious. You just want to... Fine, you can show me your penis all you want. That's not going to change the fact that you're dying.
Come down here and suck me, darling.
Oh, it's so good. Crazy girl. Whatever your name is. Take him out.
And Howland, it's your turn. You get 2 attacks. You might want to make them count.
I am literally, at this point, I'm on my last leg and I'm going all out. I'm done. I drop the crossbow on the ground. Blood coming out of my fucking mouth. And I look at her, walking towards me, and I get on all 4s, and I start fucking running at her as fast as I can. And I want to pounce on her, and I basically want to tackle her.
I'll roll a dexterity saving throw. Nope. She rolled a 3.
So did she make it, or did she...
No, she didn't make it. What are you doing?
So am I on top of her?
Yep.
I am going to use every ounce of bugbear strength that I have left in my body to kill this bitch right here. And I'm going to take my fucking hands and I'm going to put them on her head. And I'm going to plant my thumbs over her fucking eyes. And I'm going to just look at her. And I'm going to say, this is what I should have done at the goddamn cabin. Rib Vindim. Bugbear. This isn't my body. But I'm gonna use it like this, and I'm gonna fucking squeeze as hard as I can, and I'm gonna pop her fucking head like a gourd right now.
Strength with advantage.
Right fucking now.
Holy shit.
Crack her fucking head.
Roll again, you have advantage.
Crack it into fucking dust. Pop it.
On a 24. That's what you do. Roll D8. Just roll a D8.
I want to add that I am on top of her fucking screaming in her face as I am popping her goddamn head open like a grape.
You pop it open. You do 6 damage to her. And we cut back to you, Rib, as you're watching this. And suddenly you feel a hand on your shoulder. What do?
What's on my shoulder?
A hand.
Whose hand?
Do you turn back and see?
Yeah.
You see Bendel looking up at you.
Oh, what a fucking ugly ass.
Smoke pouring from his eyes, and he doesn't look good. You hear him say to you, "Don't be fooled, Rib. This isn't the end. I need you to do me a favor."
Oh my god, it's always with the fucking favors with this. What?
I know this is gonna be weird. I need you. And this is the only time I can say this, otherwise he'll be on me like white on rice, and he'll understand what I'm trying to do, but I need you to go to Howland, and I need you to tell him that you trust him. And I need... You laugh. I need you to go to Howland. I need you to tell him that you trust him, and that he's doing good, and that you never knew he had it so hard. So please, just... It sounds stupid, it sounds cringy, it sounds like emotional and not what you guys are about, but I need you to say that. Otherwise, you won't survive.
I imagine the Interceptors in the back like, "Bro, you just posted cringe!" Ban him! Guys, ban him! That's cringe!
Even if you don't mean it, but you gotta mean it. You gotta do it.
Wait.
And
telepathically, I'm like, hey, and I say all the things he said for me to say.
you gotta say... it doesn't work, but you gotta say it. You gotta go up to him and say it.
Nah. Well, I go up to him and I say exactly what you told me to say.
It's alright.
Bendel says, "If you don't do it, you both are gonna lose. And you're just gonna become like what I am." And as he says that, his eyes, the smoke dissipate for a second, and then his body goes rigid, and he picks up the gauntlet again, and he's about to strike you. Take dexterity saving throw with advantage. What do you do to get away from him?
I do a backflip.
You backflip away. Now we cut back to you, Howland. What are you doing?
I'm sitting on top of her still, just covered in all the blood over her twitching body, just kind of like exhaling loudly as I turn over and see this.
You turn back and you see Rib backflip away from Bendel, who has just tried to punch down.
I'm gonna take the scarf off of her bloody body, and I'm gonna run over there.
Alright, you run over there.
Okay, I run over there. I get behind Bendel, and I'm like strangling him with the scarf behind him. I've got the scarf like wrapped around his neck, basically. I want to literally start strangling Bendel with the scarf. Not literally like, like I know he's not gonna die of suffocation, but I'm trying to basically hold him.
No, I won't even make you roll because you're super strong. He's very weak right now. And you got him together. You're holding him down.
Telepathically to Rib, I'm just screaming. I'm like, "Rib, go for the fucking knife! Go for the knife! Fife!" Because he's still got that Bowie knife implanted in the middle of his fucking head.
I go for the knife.
What do? You take the knife out of his skull, and you're about to do it into his throat, and you see his eyes as he's just staring blankly into yours as the camera zooms in on it and then back to you, and it cuts back and forth, and then you cut into his throat. Damage?
5 piercing. Level up.
You basically cut his head off, is what you do. And his body falls to the ground as his skull rotates away. The words that he said to you still echo in your head.
I said them.
He didn't say them out loud.
David, I said them. Come on now.
Dylan, it must have meaning.
I said them. I said exactly what he said to say. I meant it. It was for real. Next part.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I'm not lying. Alright, I'm for real right now. I'm serious. Like, I just want you to know I love you so much, and I'm real right now. I'm being really real with you. I'm serious. So, like, I just need you to know that this is me. This is me being really real with you right now, okay?
The camera is looking up at Rib, looking down at Bendel's body, as we see blurred in the background, the crazy girl sit up with a missing head. Blood splurting from her neck.
Come the fuck on.
I said it, David. What does it do?
Listen. Let me just repaint. Let me paint this for you right now, out of game. Neither one of us are comfortable saying that, so let me paint a different picture with that. With what Bendel said to him.
You could paraphrase it any way you want, but you gotta say something.
Well, the thing is, he opens up a link with me telepathically. Everything that Bendel said, I can hear it too, as if Bendel is next to me saying it, and we look at each other. We look at each other for a brief moment, and we nod. We do that deep stare, like, I got you. I know. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Just say out loud, you look at him, and you nod.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la.
Ding, ding, dong.
And then I look at him and I nod. GG.
As you guys are staring at each other, and you do the nod,
Oh, that sounds gay now.
the camera has both of you in the picture as the crazy girl is coming towards you, and you both just nod to each other. And from both of you, your vision blurs, and all of a sudden, your point of view changes. And Rib, you were looking at Howland, you were looking at your body, but now all of a sudden, you're in a different point of view, and you're looking at Howland. Howland. He's there.
Oh, nice.
So, we're in our bodies now. You know what? You know what, dude? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that I'm pretty happy. And I'm thinking I'm gonna take a minute, and I'm gonna just be like, oh, it's me! I'm in my body. Like, and this is all with blood coming out of my mouth, and I'm about to die. I'm just like, oh, it's me! Whoa! Hey! Hey, man! Hey, and I'm getting down with myself. I'm getting down with myself. I'm like walking it out right there. There's confetti around me. I'm doing confetti. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. It's me, Howland Rain, in my body. Oh, yeah. And I'm just feeling my smooth skin, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, hey.
What are you doing, Rib?
I'm scratching my ass.
The crazy girl is still coming at you guys. You guys are both very low indeed, right? She's coming at both of you. I feel like both of you don't have the strength for her coming back at you with her big old sword, and she's coming at both of you, right?
That's what it seems like.
The sword is getting bigger, especially because the Interceptor's laughing a little bit more now that Bendel is dead. And you hear the Interceptor laughing. He's like, he sacrificed himself for you, and you're gonna die anyway. I think both of you feel this weird... It's not like an emotional connection between each other. It's kind of like your telepathic one. It feels weird, like you guys both can understand each other more, and both of you realize that there's something there. Like you can do something now. You feel like a new ability.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
I think you need to check out your features and traits.
What am I looking at here?
Look at the last thing on your features and traits on the right side.
Short fuse?
Yep.
What is it?
Click on short fuse again.
Just shake hands. We shake hands.
Okay, so yeah, we shake hands then?
You guys shake hands as this thing is coming at you, and you realize what's going on, and you have this new ability.
Bitch.
And what happens is there's a white light again, but it's not from the Interceptor, it's from both of you. And the white turns from that color to shamrock and a mixture of ghostly purple going together into a swirl. And then when the light disappears, there's one figure standing with 4 hands, 4 eyes, large, one with rib hands, and one with Howland hands. Go crazy. What are you doing? Both of you.
Okay. Alright, I'm using a big-ass bugbear. It's literally like Mage Hand, but it's taking the form of a big-ass bear claw. And I am going to swing and grab that arm, and I'm gonna try to yank her fucking arm and throw her at the wall.
That happens. Roll D8 damage. What do you do, Rib?
I take a shot and then try to knife him.
You take a shot at the person?
Yeah.
Okay. You pick them and throw them against the wall, doing 2 damage, Howland, and they just fall to the ground, right? They get back up, trying to push the sword into the ground, no head again, and just all of a sudden, crossbow through the chest, and then a knife cuts them, and they take 8 damage and 5 damage, piercing damage. They are looking fucked up. What else are you guys doing?
I'm grabbing her with my hands, and I'm gonna take this body, and we're gonna jump up in the air, and I'm gonna take her above me and whip her into the ground. Come up in the air with her and just throw her back down, and then come down on her after I throw her down, and do the shit we did in the ring. I'm gonna just come down and literally give her the smackdown.
You do exactly that, and there's this ripple
God.
through the cave as you actually see the Interceptor in the background get pushed back, and you hear him go, "What?
What?
What? No!" And then... and the ripple sends him back against the wall as you look down at this person just twitching. Their body is just twitching. What do you do, Rib?
I want to take 2 shots at the Interceptor to show him I mean business.
Alright. You turn around and you take 2 shots at the Interceptor. And the arrow, one of them goes just and clicks off of the structure, and the other one just buries itself into the glass. It doesn't shatter, but you see a spider web of cracks emerging in the center of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
You hear him say,
No! Stop! Please!
I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Is it my turn now?
yes, you can, but you guys, I think you guys just take a second. You guys realize that you're in the same body, the same consciousness. You have the ability to do whatever you want as long as you agree on it.
Telepathically inside her head. I propose we fuck the Interceptor up as hard as we can by any means necessary. Do you concur with that, Rivington?
I'm with it. I'm with that plan.
Hearing that, I'm gonna take the girl's body, and I'm gonna grab her by the legs, and I'm gonna scream, "This time, stay fucking dead!" And I'm gonna rip her in half from the legs, and then I'm gonna take her body that's ripped in half, and I'm going to whip both of the pieces at the Interceptor as hard as I fucking can. Whipping that shit.
You whip her body goes splatter effect in Fallout when that happens. What do you do?
I'm going to jump at the fucking Interceptor with Mage Hand around my massive human bugbear arm, and I'm going to punch that fucking cracked light dome piece as hard as I can.
Roll with advantage. Just a strength.
My strength is really bad, I'll have you know. So just understand that.
Do it with advantage, and don't worry about the -1. So that means it's a 15. You just start punching it as hard as you can, and it looks like you're doing some dents to it. The structure is bending under the weight and pressure of your strength. And you just hear him,
Stop, please! Stop it! Please! We can talk about this right now. Please stop!
Initiative is over. You guys are both in the same body.
I was gonna say, I think it's your turn, boy.
What should we do then?
Oh, man. How big is the Interceptor? What exactly is he? Like, he's a big, glowing...
A big glowing oil lantern.
Alright, I'm thinking we keep busting open the light until we're fucking in there.
The spiderweb continues as he just says, "Come on, just tell me, what do you want? It's fine. There's no bad blood here." You take 2 shots. It's cracking immensely.
I'm gonna stop for a second. I'm gonna just look at him and I'm gonna go, "Oh, come on. Where was all your bravado? What happened to your contingencies?" "Oh, that's right. They failed. Under our contingency. Of course, you probably didn't suspect we had one ourselves. It's very interesting, although a bit simple, I'll admit. You see, the brilliance of our contingency is that it's always active. You know what it is? I'll tell you. It's to be better than you. And we are. I think right now, we're done talking until we crack you open like a fucking gourd. But please, do enjoy the ride. You have 1 ticket, front row seats, to an ass-whooping concert in your name. It's all for you, buddy. This is all for you. And I'm going to just start wailing on him again.
I think that's happening, like, as you're saying that, Howland's hands are still wailing on the thing, and you are still wailing on the thing, and you're just saying that over and over again, just telling him what's happening, and the glass inside of it is shattering, and then there's a glow all of a sudden from it, and then the glow stops, and then you are at 20 feet away from it, and it's in the center, right side up again, and it just stares at you, and the light is just coming from the crack, and he says, he's panting, and he's clearly freaked out, agitated. This has never happened to him before, and he says,
Now stand back, okay? You don't want to deal with this. This can't happen here. You can't kill me no matter what you do. Like, yeah, you can cause me a few bumps and bruises, but here, let's change this up. What do you want? Both of you, just tell me.
I want to continue hitting you for a little bit.
Oh, okay, besides that.
I want your power.
Okay. Alright. Let's see. Bring back Bendel. Right now.
the light emerges where Bendel's body was. He is no longer there. And then in front of you is Bendel. All better. His patched cloak is still on top of him. His skull bison head is no longer there. It's just a full head of hair bison, and he looks completely healthy.
I brought back Bendel. I'm not sure about my power, Rib.
I need your power.
I'm gonna say heal both of us right now.
Light glows up, and both of you are fully healed.
Temporary hit points. I'm putting that all the way back up. That feels really good.
I show him both my belts, and I say, I beat you at your game. I deserve your power in the form of a belt.
Okay, out of game, what do you want the belt to be called?
Big Dick Belt.
Fuck on.
Can you make it a little bit more not?
Belt of Defiance, or like...
If you want it to be Big Dick Belt, honestly, fine. I
I
will.
want it to be Big Dick Belt.
Son of a bitch. The Interceptor. What color? You want to design this belt real quick? Shape, size, what's on it?
I want it to literally be the Intercontinental Championship. Like, the one that Jeff Hardy held, not the one that, like, Santino Marella held.
The legit one?
Right.
Like the one with the, like, literal oval world on it?
Timeline-wise, the one before Santino Marella.
Right.
Before he had ever touched it, you know?
Right.
It's not really a big thing, you know? It's just a preference thing.
So here's what happens. Both of your belts disappear. Both of them. And then in place of both of them, this bigger belt with the centerpiece not just being a circle anymore, it has spread into an oval, but it looks like the circles are
Tell me it spins.
overlapping. Yes, they both spin. Fuck! Both of the runes are on it, and then under it, it says Big Dick Belt. Is the strap black, or what color is it?
It's gold.
Gold. Alright, and there it is. There you go. There's your belt.
What about the power?
What do you want it to do?
I want all the power.
You're not gonna get all the power.
I need all the power.
You're not gonna be Burai.
I am Borai. I have lots and lots of powers.
That's it.
I have lots and lots of powers.
What type of power do you want? I'll
All of it.
You gotta reason with me. Come on.
What do you mean? Like, what type of power? Like, I just want...
Like, do you like? It's gonna grant you an ability.
I want to be able to jump and be able to do some kind of CC. Like a slam or a big uppercut punch or something.
Like a Doom Fist, you can uppercut and then you could slam down.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you're just asking him to, like, enhance your reflexes and stuff like that, like, make you a better fighter.
Well, my big problem with playing Rib right now is, like, his only attacks are the only ones with, like, an amount of damage attached to him or something I could click is, like, ranged attack or a Bowie knife, so I figured I need one more.
I know, I like that. It's gonna be like uppercut. This is gonna have the same abilities as your Belt of Power and your Belt of Strength, except it's gonna be, in addition, you get to uppercut people and do D6 damage, and then you can slam them down or slam onto the ground and do an additional D6 damage. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Bendel is in the center of the room looking around and he says, "Well, what the hell?"
One moment, Bendel. Just 1 second, honey. I'm looking at the light with my finger in his orb face, and I'm like, oh no, we're not fucking done. This is the scene, you guys saw the Dark Knight, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know the scene where the asshole lawyer comes into Morgan Freeman's room all smug as fuck, and he's like, I want $10 million a year for the rest of my... Like, that's kind of the attitude right now. So we're healed, okay. Okay. I want the ability to passively levitate. That's what I want right now.
Your beast balloons, all 3 of them, just pop. Pop, 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 pop.
Is that your favorite? Yes, mine too! Like, pop!
They all 3 of them pop.
Pop! Pop! Pop!
And all of a sudden, you just start levitating. And
oh, fuck yeah.
you now have... You fucking did it. From episode 1, you're like, I want to passively... You now have the ability to just levitate. You can't fly...
Yes!
You can't fly super fast like Griffin
Yeah.
can, or like
Yeah.
super high into space, but you can passively levitate. You're like Sigma
I'm just like...
in this bitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm just like Sigma now, boy. Fuck yeah!
God damn it, he finally did it to me!
Yes!
I didn't realize...
Also-
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you did.
Alright.
Alright. And I'm gonna... Where's my tattoo at? What part of my body? Is that on my neck, or my torso, or my arm, or where?
Oh, the wand?
The wand. Yes, the
Oh,
wand.
no.
The wand, David.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
Where is the tattoo, David?
It's been floating all over your body.
Okay.
Oh, my
I'm
God!
gonna just say it's on my neck.
It's on your neck.
I'm gonna pull him really close because I'm serious right now, and I'm gonna get acid splash ready like fuck in my other hand, and I'm like, alright, now, Magic Man, fix this. Fix this tattoo and give me what I was promised right now. And I hold out my hand, and I'm waiting. I'm fucking waiting.
The red light emerges, and there's a lot of pain, but I feel like you just kind of grin and bear it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in your hand appears the wand.
Lovely.
He did it!
Okay. You thought I forgot, didn't you?
I really did!
Fool that you are.
Oh my god!
Alright. And... How many people do you think you've captured over the years? How many souls do you think you've had access to?
It's been quite a lot.
In fact, he says that the light shines, and you remember seeing Bendel in the ground, but when the light shines, you see all around the cave, and you see all of these bodies glued to the wall, like the psycho version of the Sistine Chapel from Jeepers Creepers.
I want access to every soul that you have ever captured. I want an army. Oh boy. Obviously, I don't expect it to appear right now in front of me, but I do want access to those souls. I want them.
Oh my god. You got like,
Yeah.
I want to work with you on this, Eddie. I really do.
Yeah, nah. In all honesty, that was me essentially putting my toes in the pond. I did not think you were going to give me all the souls whatsoever.
Okay.
But I just wanted to try.
As much as I'd love to give you those souls, my good friend Howland, it's not there, is what I'm... They're not here. I have access to them, but they can't leave my side. I'd love to give them to you. I really would, Howland. You're my best friend, right? Pal, buddy, friend?
But of course.
I can offer you this, though.
The scarf that you have in your hand, have you guys separated as bodies?
I'm assuming once the light started talking to us, we kind of separated.
A light shines on the wand, and a light shines in the scarf. Then he says,
I'll give you this. If you are ever in dire need, and you need help from a few wayward souls, all you gotta do is say the magic word. but it's an only one. It's a one-time thing. Otherwise,
Okay. And what's that magic word?
it's a get out of jail free card. Magic word is please.
Okay. Doable.
Don't forget that you need to get the light, a little bit of the light for the long-eared king.
Yeah, of course. 2 more things. I want a bitchin' new robe. This one's kind of old,
Holy shit.
a little bit worn out.
Is there anything that you want as well, Rib? You can ask for more stuff, because Howland's just going on a shopping spree.
Oh, yeah! Goddamn right I am. Rib, dude, get whatever you can.
I want a set of non-cancerous mercury armor that flows around me like an aura.
Ooh, I like that.
So, like, weird, liquidy, metallic...
Yeah, almost like it forms to where I need to be hurt, but it could just sit in, like, medieval armor. Or, like, just be a ring of droplets flowing around me or something. I don't know. If I was just, like, in a city, I could have, like, a small pouch on my side, like a waterbender, and just have it in there, and then drag it out for armor.
The strap from your belt glows this weird color. I don't know what color it is, but it's a different type of yellow, and...
Well, there you go, my good friend. If you ever need help, your armor, whatever, just pull it.
Hold on. Hey, you heard me, right? Non-cancerous, right? Just making sure on this one.
Oh, of course, this isn't going to give you any type of disease. It's,
Good.
It certainly wouldn't give you herpes. I would never do that to you. Of course. I mean, what kind of a friend would give their other friend that just tried to kill them armor containing herpes? That would be lame. Come on. As your crotch starts to itch, it's like, oh.
You know what's crazy? Fun fact. Mercury is almost twice as dense as, like, steel. So, like, an iron anvil that weighs, 150 pounds will float in a bucket of mercury.
Huh.
That's actually really insane.
Just think about how strong this armor is, David, when you're writing in numbers.
Oh my god.
That's Dylan putting you against the wall. Yeah, so just think about how fucking sweet this armor is, dick.
We'll get into how much that armor is. Make sure to write this stuff down in your like features and traits and stuff. Like just write.
Oh, I will.
What do you want about the robe, real quick?
He wants a bitch in a robe.
I was gonna say the robe that I imagine that I've been wearing this whole time is like in the picture
Mm-hmm.
that we had originally. Honest to God, it almost looks like something from Slytherin.
Mm-hmm.
Like something they'd wear in, like, Harry Potter. This is almost exactly the robe that I want. That is what I want it
Is that
to look like. That's Darth Nihilus.
Darth Nihilus? You want the cowl and the hood and the...
Yeah, not the mask, though, on it.
Yeah, obviously.
Because instead of that skull mask, it would probably be like mine, my mouth mask, coming out of the hood.
Right.
But yeah, for the most part, like, that's essentially exactly what I want. But since we're breaking out new armor, I want an armor set underneath that's gonna go with my mask. An organic-looking armor set that's kind of like... Maybe it's got a couple, like, bones or, like, spikes coming out through the cloak a little bit, specifically the shoulder area, like, protruding.
Alright, write that down.
Yeah, organic-looking armor that matches that fucking mask. Sweet.
Fucking sweet.
Alright.
You guys get that. We'll get into the mechanics of those
Alright, last
things later.
thing. I need a beacon to the gods.
Like a thing to call for us.
But yeah, like a walkie-talkie for gods. And they don't have to answer, but it's for sure going to them.
So you want a radio signal.
Yeah, but a beacon because they're gods and, like, they don't have a walkie-talkie.
The light emerges again, and on your wrist, it looks... There's no watches, but there's a band on your wrist now, and in the middle of it is in a square form, and there's a button on it. Click on it, and talk into it if you'd like.
Nice.
And he says,
do not tell anyone I gave you that, okay?
I won't.
Don't tell anybody.
Now, friends, is there anything else I can do before I ask a favor of you?
There's one more thing that I want.
Of course, let's continue.
But this is legitimately the last thing. How much do you think your soul's worth, Interceptor? No, obviously I'm assuming you can't give me your soul. But what I do want, at some point, somewhere, sometime in the future, I'm gonna call on you. I'm gonna call you. And you, not a lackey, not a minion, not a tool or an employee, you are going to answer that call wherever I am, no matter if it's here, another country, a pocket dimension, wherever I may be. When I call you, you're gonna answer. You're gonna back me up. And you're gonna do whatever I tell you to do in that moment. Unrefusable. If I want you to level a city, you level the city. I want you to lay down, you're gonna lay down. I say jump, you say how high. You got that? Buddy?
Buddy.
I'll see what I can do. I can't.
A one-time use.
Now, here's the thing, and that kind of goes in the favor I need. I can't leave unless the Long-Eared King breaks his bond with me. I will give you some of my light if you make sure that he breaks the bond.
How does he do that?
He just has to make it so. Convince him to make it so.
You do realize that convincing him of doing that is probably going to require us to fight the entire little army that he's got there, right?
I don't think it would be a bad thing for him to break the bond. You don't have to do it any badly. If you need...
We'll turn his people back to normal.
If he doesn't want the light, use the light to turn everybody back normal. Please.
He can do that?
From above, light in a ball emerges white in front of him between both of you, and he says,
If he refuses, I need that bond broken so I can leave.
Okay. And what do you intend to do when you leave?
Go on my merry way.
It's that simple, huh? Okay.
If you want my favor, one-time use, that's my request.
Telepathically to Rib, I need that fucking favor.
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to go with it again.
Alright. Fine. But know this, little light. You might be bright right now, but at some point, even the brightest light can't overcome the blackest darkness. And you would do really, really well to remember that. Remember this. Remember how sure you were. And remember the exact moment all of your plans shattered. You do well to think on that. And with that, I want to say we take Bendel and leave.
a portal emerges from inside, and you guys step through with Bendel outside into the cold, near the cave entering Hansome. And Bendel's shivering, and he's just staring, and I didn't think I'd make that. I didn't think I'd make it out of there.
Well, technically you didn't, to be fair.
I gotta thank you, boys.
Understand this now, Bendel. What I did was not an act of kindness or compassion. You gave up your life for both of us, without me even having to ask you to do so. I like that. So, this, bringing you back, was merely me repaying a favor. Simple as that.
Well, I gotta repay a favor as well. Not necessarily a favor, I didn't mean to, but I wronged you, Rib. Points to you, Rib. When I was under the control of the Interceptor, I forced light onto you. This was a plan by the Interceptor to try and corrupt both of you. I only seemed to get Rib, well, Howland in Rib's body. And you remember Howland when the whole light gave you 9 damage, like this weird gooey light just formed all over your body at the time, which was Rib's. That's definitely gonna have some lasting results on you. And I could try to fix this. I'm trying so very hard to make this better, Rib. But here's the situation. I could try and heal you, and I could try to fix this, but if you don't, you're gonna change, Rib. You're gonna be destroyed. Your body is gonna be different because of what the Interceptor did. And I swear, if I think it would do any good, I would march down to that son of a bitch and I'd tell him to change you and fix you. But that's not the case. He wanted to corrupt you so he could take advantage of you, but your boy's spirit is too much. He knew that, and that's why you guys weren't controlled the first time you even went down that fucking hole. Now, I see potential in you, Rib. to become a Beastmaster. And I'm not very good at this fucking speech bullshit. I'm really not. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, man.
He reaches and he pulls up his sleeve and he shows this like weird swirly thing that goes all the way down to his wrist. It's like a tattoo, but it's attached to his skin, and he just pushes it into the ground and pulls around the snow, and he makes a big circle in the snow in the shape, and then he puts a square shape on the top left side of the circle, and then another square shape on the bottom right side of the circle. And you see this, Rib? You remember this pattern. It's the same shape that you saw when you were going to Soulwood, when you're tripping balls with Schmebbles, and you just recognize that shape. After he's done, he pulls out his arm and he says, I could take you with me, and I could try to heal you as best as I can. I could teach you everything I know, and I could try to prevent you from dying or having your body corrupted too much.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, man, honestly. If you could just teach me how to do stuff other than, like, shooty, that'd be awesome.
That's the problem, though.
What?
I can't take Howland.
That's alright, he smells bad.
Have you checked your ass? I feel like that's where that's coming from.
You could come back at some point in the future, but...
Well, how and where are you gonna go?
I think I know where I have to go. Probably have to go back to Xander. Straighten some things out there. Set a couple plans in motion.
It's hot.
Indeed it is.
Spit it out.
I'm just really sorry.
Nah, man, it'll be cool, I'm sure. I've been almost dead for like 6 weeks. When they don't go that way, you know, well, you dead. You ain't gonna regret it.
He laughs a bit. I'm just gonna need just a few more minutes to set this thing up, and we can get out of here. Howland, it was really thank you so much for saving me.
Yeah, don't mention it, literally.
He looks at you, Howland, and he doesn't say anything, but he takes off his gauntlets, and he just hands them to you. You know, I could probably make more of these, especially where I'm going. Maybe you could test them out.
As he hands them to me, I slip my hands inside both of the gauntlets, and I look at them, and I hold my hands in front of me with these gauntlets on now. I look at Bendel, and I'm just like, these will do quite nicely. Thank you.
He just nods his head towards you, and he continues digging in the snow. I'm going to take a little bit of the reins here, and I think you guys look back at each other, and you don't say anything. Or maybe you do, but you guys... Something happened when you fused for the first time. All of your memories, everything. You guys know everything about each other. Even last time you guys beat your meat, like, that type of... Like, you know everything, and it's kind of disheartening, but it's nice to kind of know somebody who's been or seen the things that you've done.
It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also one thing. Howland, telepathically, you remember the moment, and Rib, you also remember the moment that Malik was killed by this big black blur, this shadow creature. And you remember that moment too, Howland. And that's intense, just thinking about it. But the reason that it's even more intense is because, Rib, you've seen that thing. That's Floral.
Yeah, man.
That was Floral. You remember seeing Floral, this big black blur, this shadow monster. And you remember, that's Floral. And Howland, you, with this new information, that Floral, this thing that sent Rib to Soulwood, is the same thing that killed your mentor, Malik, and set the destruction of the Knights' congregation into motion. That is new.
Without saying anything, upon receiving that information, I'm gonna just basically look up at the snow coming down, and I am going to clench my hands inside of these metal gauntlets so hard that you can actually see blood leaking out. I'm not gonna scream or anything. I'm not gonna yell, but I just look up and I'm very, 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 very mad about that.
I mean, what do you do, Rib?
I wanna perceive what's around me in all its glory.
Out of game real quick, what's going on with the long-eared king? Am I gonna go do that?
It depends on what's about to happen now. This moment right now, it's very important to what happens in the next moment. What do you need to perceive around you?
I want to take a view of the landscape, like where everything is.
You just look around you, and this place that you've been around is covered in snow now. It's up to your knees, and you see Bendel creating some type of structure in the center next to you, and you see the cave opening where it leads down to Hansome, or New Hansome, I should say. You see the remnants of Hansome in the distance, where the tavern was and where those two people were and everything was going on. You see the slow snowfall. For once, it's a very peaceful scene of all the snow falling down around you, and it's actually quite quiet. And you see Howland angrily staring up. I actually think that you notice the blood leaking out of his gauntlets.
What are we gonna do now, Howland?
I look back, and I turn around, and I'm just like, I'm not sure who or what exactly Floral is, but she's gonna die. And there's no way that that's not going to happen. That's an imminent truth at this point. But for right now, you have two decisions to make. Either A, you can leave with Bendel right now and embark on your journey and go train to be a Beastmaster and come back whenever you may or may not come back. Or we can go fix this shit with the Long-Eared King, and then maybe you can leave with Bendel later. Really, it's up to you.
I'd want to try and see if I could leave later, just to finish this up. Bendel, is there any way you could set up camp for a couple nights here?
You say that to Bendel. He stares up at you. He kind of just nods to you, Howland, and to you, Rib. He's looking at both of you, kind of puzzled. And then he just sees your face, Howland, and he sees your face, Rib, and he just nods. Yeah, it's not that cold out tonight. I think a few days. Take your time. Just don't take a week.
And please, Bendel, don't sacrifice yourself for me again.
He chuckles to himself and he says, well, I know I can't always have you there to protect me, so maybe next time I probably should.
Well, if you'll excuse us then, my good man, I believe we've got one last thing to take care of.
That we do.
I gotta jerk off.
He chuckles to himself again and he says, all right, boys. If they give you hell, give them fire.
I was gonna say give them ice, but yours works too.
We got enough of that over here. And then I think with that, you guys turn away from Bendel and start heading down the dark cave as the camera zooms out. So we see Bendel look after you two. And then as you guys disappear into the darkness, the camera cuts